Inequality. We've been talking about it for a long time, and we need to continue talking about it. Thomas Piketty, who is an economist in Paris, and two economists from Berkeley have come up with a new study that is actually very sophisticated and give great detail about the nature of the equality and where it comes from, and understanding in the United States how it manifests itself. Which all of this is too much for this kind of little video. So I will tell you some of the main ideas. One of the key ideas is that the economic pie in the United States has doubled. But as it has doubled over the last few decades, it has left out 50% of those who are at the bottom. Obviously, the spoils have gone to the people at the top. And you're dealing with 117 million people for whom growth since 1970 has been zero. So even though there's been a lot of economic growth, they've been totally shut out. We're dealing with a government that shells out $5 trillion in terms of all of the ways in which they help working families, in which they help the poor, in all kinds of the programs that the United States government has. But to these economists, of course, that is not an answer. And they study it in ways that are very interesting. For example, the wealth in the past came from labor. A lot of the wealth came from people's labor. Now, most of the wealth comes from investment. In fact, also, we're dealing with the disparity at the top. In 1980, I think, a CEO made maybe 27 times the amount that their average worker, but now it's 81 times more than their average worker. So obviously, all this contributes and reinforces inequality. So almost by accident, and this is not the main stay of their study, but they mentioned the need for education. And I thought that was so important. I wanted to share that with you, because we live in a time when we're challenging the idea of public education. And they acknowledge that technology, they really mean robots and robotics, that are driving down wages and of course contribute then to inequality. And one of the ways in which people could be brought up would be if there could be education, but it would have to be education from the bottom up, education from the very early stages, so that people are able to better participate and hopefully use their labor to reduce the inequality, which otherwise would be their lot. So I found this something that is very, very important for us to understand and to think about. Thank you for listening. I'm Danielle Levy.